Hello, former Nigerian envoy Dr. Godknows Bolade has expressed concern over the position of the National Assembly and those against the call for restructuring of the country to make it a truly federal nation. According to him, such anti-restructuring posture was a clear sign of ignorance on the need for a united country. For more on this, we have with us in the studio a lawyer, Ahmed Abass. Ahmed Abass, glad to have you join us on TVC News Arm.
Thank you.
All right. Do you believe that restructuring is the antidote to a really united nation? And if you do, how so?
Thank you. I think I'm going to situate what's happening in Nigeria to within the context of an analogy. When you are flying an aircraft heading towards a destination, and the aircraft develops a fault mid-air, the most sensible thing to do is you find the nearest available airport and you land and fix the problem before taking off. There's so much commotion. And I said leading a nation is like flying an airplane. If the flight is hitch-free, you usually see the cabin very calm. People reading newspapers, sleeping, or whispering in low tones. But when you see commotion in the cabin of an aircraft, it is to tell you that the cockpit is having a problem maintaining stability of the aircraft. The commotion you are hearing in the Niger Delta, the commotion that you are hearing in the Southwest, where they are saying there must be restructuring, the commotion you are hearing from the North Central to say, look, if Nigeria is split, we will not go with the North, it's an indication that there's something wrong, fundamentally wrong with the contraption that you call Nigeria. And the most sensible thing to do, come to the round table, look at each other eyeball to eyeball and say, why are we having this friction? Okay. Running away from sitting down to restructure is, I can relate it to a family where there's so much tension and the component parts, the children, are telling the father and the mother that we need to see this family is in shambles. There's anarchy, there's strifing. And the parents, the mother and the father says, well, we are scared of coming for a family meeting because if we get there, we are scared that our children will disown us, that they no longer want to be part and parcel of this family. Then you must ask yourself, how have you been parenting those children? In civilized climate, even in, you must give room. Those that are saying the unity of Nigeria is not negotiable, it's not, I just look at it, I say, look, we have a problem. We are all sitting on a keg of gunpowder.
We'll get there.
Yes.
We'll get onto that negotiation.
All right. From what you have said, you talked about the fact that those from the South are clamoring for restructuring, and the various regions see restructuring in different light. Now, how do we have a unified focus if we are not having, like you said, a roundtable discussion? The National Assembly have started a process of a constitutional amendment. Is this addressing these issues such that we all have this unified focus on what we are saying restructuring really is?
You see, communication is key in any relationship, very key. And you must have a listening ear, yes, in any relationship. If you adopt an adamant position in any relationship, in any relationship, when there are strikes, you create a win-win situation for everybody. And that means you must leave your position and move towards the center to accommodate the other person's feeling. You can't stand on one side of the divide and thinking you are going to have a solution. You must be sensitive to my feelings. Have the capacity to understand where I'm coming from and accommodate my differences, accommodate our differences, except you do that. If, for example, I'm a Christian or I'm a Muslim or you are a Christian and you insist that you want to impose your values on me, there's going to be tension, there's going to be friction, there's going to be problem. Mm-hmm. Now, people are clamoring for restructuring. Like I said, the noise is loud and clear. It's an indication that there's something fundamentally wrong with the way the country is structured today.
All right.
Yes.
I'm not cutting you, but I'm going to ask you two questions now.
Yes.
people are, well, some divide. You know, some have said that what usually happens in the country is that when you're not in power, you start talking restructuring. When you're out of power, you don't talk restructuring. That's one. When you talk negotiation, isn't it something like the conference, you know, that was held by Jonathan's administration?
In 2014.
You know, quite some have come out to say it wasn't representative. So, what form do you propose this renegotiation, I'm sure you can talk about that, take that will then make it representative? Two questions I asked you now.
This is my take. You know, I am of the view, and this is my personal opinion. I do tell people, I say, look, most times positions do not actually make people. It only amplifies the values, the principles they already have imbibed over the years. That's my take. If you say a man gets to power, initially he was talking about restructuring, he gets to power, he's no longer talking about restructuring. I can tell you ab initio that that man was never an apostle or a disciple of restructuring. That's my take on that. National Assembly, ordinarily, look, if you are sensitive to they are servants of the people. People are clamoring for restructuring. Very simple. If you are there for the interests of Nigerians, it's very simple. Agglomerate their interests and press it, lobby, and let everybody. The essence of restructuring is create a win-win situation for everybody. A situation where one part seems to be enjoying the relationship and somebody is clamoring that, look, this relationship, it's like it is parasitic. I am paying a price. I am being dehumanized. I'm not running at the pace I want to run. I want to develop at my own pace. You are tying me down. It's not conducive for me and things like that. And you are pretending you are not hearing the voice and the cry and the pain of the other party. It's a question of time. You are sitting on a keg of gunpowder. So, in a relation, let me just learn. You see, as a practicing lawyer, sometimes I tell people, when you hear that in a relationship, a husband kills the wife or the wife kills the husband and things like that, I usually tell people the signature was on the wall long time ago. Somebody was pretending, what will people say? That's why they kept accommodating. There are frustrations in the land, and the leadership of this nation must sit down courageously and address the problem.
So are you saying that with the constitutional amendment, that is not addressing it at all? And what pattern or what form such that it will carry everyone along? Do we revisit the Constitutional Conference of the report of 2014? What happens?
The entire report, I can't say the entire report represents the entire the gamut of what Nigerians are expecting and things like that. We've had several reports. And you see, a nation is in phases. It's in phases. Prior to the 1960 election, constitution, the 1963 election, there have been several constitutions, 1922, 1941, 1946, 1953, 1960, 1963. The development of a nation is a journey. You don't arrive at a destination and think you have gotten the America is still developing. They are still amending their constitution as the realities of the exigencies occur. So you must be courageous, you must be sensitive, you must be understanding. When you have a problem, you go back to the drawing board and say, how do we navigate this problem? That's what we are saying. It is not that as if you can't have one law, you can't have one constitution that will solve all your problems. But as problems develop along the path,
dynamics.
Yeah, dynamics. You should be courageous enough to say, look, I think we need to take a bend. Now, that's what I'm trying to say.
Thank you very much, Ahmed Abass.
People should be sensitive to the Nigerians' plight. And that's all. If they listen to the voice of Nigerians, they will do what is right.
All right, thank you very much. We've been discussing with a lawyer, Ahmed Abass, who is, of course, said how he feels about restructuring. Thank you for being on TVC News.
Thank you.